Now at 5:30, dog euthanasia rates at the city's animal shelter were up last year.
Yeah, this is all according to statistics from the Animal Foundation. Fox's Alexis Fernandez has the details on why all those dogs were put down.
Well, Jacqueline and John, a spokesperson for the Animal Foundation, said the animals were only euthanized if they were considered unhealthy or untreatable, and emphasized the increased numbers have nothing to do with the outbreak of canine pneumovirus that happened last year. 2 dogs were euthanized and the shelter was temporarily closed as a result. Now, the shelter took in about 29% more dogs last year, about 50% more cats. However, dog euthanasia increased 91% and 61% in cats. The foundation said euthanasia rates vary depending on the population of animals they serve in a given month or year. The shelter has had an increase in intakes over the last 2 years, with 25,000 animals in 2022. Now, the shelter released a statement saying the previous decreased trend over a decade was due to surrender intervention programs and spay-neuter ordinances.